Hello and welcome to the new episode of Making Presents. Today I would love to share the recipe for a non-toxic candle made from soy wax and with fragrance of essential oils, which is a healthy fragrance, not like the traditional smells that you can get in candles. In this recipe I'm making 3 candles, 200 milliliters each. I'm gonna use around 160 grams of soy wax for each candle. The first step I'm doing is I measure exactly 480 grams of wax. The second step is to place the wax into the double boiler for it to melt completely. I kind of messed it up in this video because I didn't measure the temperature all the way through and I heated the wax a bit too high up. According to the label on my soy wax packaging, I should melt it in the temperature of about 70, maybe 75 degrees Celsius. While I was waiting for the wax to melt completely, I prepared my glass jars for pouring the wax. And the first thing I do is to place the wicks in the center. I use stickers to stick underneath my wicks and then cut it around so it's safer and there is like less fire hazard when the candle is finished. And then I place the wick in the center and press it with the chopstick. After I've done all of the 3 glass jars, I make sure all the wicks are totally centered because that's a very important part for efficient and safe burning. And I go back to check up on my wax. As you can see, it's fully melted. When I checked the temperature, it was way too high. I think the temperature was 83 degrees when I took it out of the double boiler. So now I need to wait quite a long time. I waited about 35 to 45 minutes until my wax went to 48 degrees Celsius. And that's the step when I add essential oils. In this winter candle I used orange essential oil together with cinnamon and pine. In the soy wax you can place around 5 to 10% of fragrance, which for a 200 milliliter candle would be around 10 milliliters of essential oils if we speak about 5%. That equals to 200 drops. In total, I did place around 360 drops for all of the 3 candles. So a little bit less than 5%. And I think that makes it smell a bit less. But if you think about it, 10 milliliters of essential oil is quite an expensive candle. So you don't really need that much of a smell unless this is something you're going for. Measuring the fragrance and other thing, it's still something I'm working on in my projects. You could try yourself and see what works best for you. When I poured all of my essential oils, I was stirring the wax for about 2 minutes. Some people said it's important to combine the fragrance with the wax quite well so it will spread evenly and eventually cool down nicely. When the temperature was about 43 degrees Celsius, I poured it into containers. I made sure that the containers were room temperature, not very cold, because this is important for the cooling process. And when I poured all the wax, I left the candles undisturbed in the same spot for a whole night to decorate it with crystals the next day. For decorating the candles, you would need scissors to cut the wick and some crystals and a heat gun. But since I don't have a heat gun yet, I used a hairdryer to melt the top of the wax for placing the crystals. I did a mistake before of using other flammable materials such as dried oranges and cinnamon sticks, but it's not recommended because it's a fire hazard, so I'm not gonna recommend it to you. But crystals are safe to use, so if you feel like adding an extra intention with the crystals, just go for it. For this wintry candle, I'm gonna be using red jasper crystal, aventurine, and the tiger's eye. Here you can see the final product. I hope you like this video and you're gonna try make your healthy aromatherapy candles. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.